Today, just for a change of pace during this pandemic, I'm going to hike from beautiful Penn Mar Park on the Pennsylvania-Maryland line on the Appalachian Trail down to Route 16 outside Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Penn Mar Park used to be a recreation area back in the 20s and 30s for people out of DC. They had a train that came up. It was quite popular with among the politicians and the people out of the DC area. Now it is a park where they have dances in the summer, a beautiful overlook that looks out over the valley. As you can see, it's 1,080 miles to Maine and 920 miles to Georgia, almost to halfway park, which is in Pine Grove Furnace State Park, a little further north. Here's a beautiful pavilion that looks out over the Cumberland Valley. Out there is Waynesboro to Greencastle, clear over to Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. And here's where the trail starts. And here we're starting the trail. And after just probably a quarter of a mile, you come upon the railroad, and right there's the MasonDixon line, Pennsylvania and Maryland. And this is the railroad that brought the people up here when it was a resort back in the 20s and 30s. It crosses the rail. So over, as you can see, it's well marked. This part of this trail is downhill, but it does get a lot steeper a little further on. This part is well maintained. One thing about Pennsylvania's Appalachian Trail, it is rocky and rooty. And here is the MasonDixon line, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And we will go onward. Right next to the MasonDixon line was Jim's old popcorn stand and ice cream, where there used to be a trolley station. After leaving the MasonDixon line, the trail follows behind a small residential area for about a quarter of a mile, then cuts down into the woods. And it should be woods from here on out for the rest of this section of the trail. It's not real well marked where it cuts off, but I did see a couple white slashes, so I know I'm on the right trail. Again, very rocky. And with the leaves down, it makes footing a little more precarious than usual. I'm also wearing fluorescent orange because it is hunting season in Pennsylvania. So far it's all downhill, but you're going down into that ravine, and I know from walking it the other direction, then I'm going to have to go uphill, clear up to the top and over that ridge but sometimes I think it's rocky, and with the leaves, it's actually easier going uphill than it is going downhill. I've already slipped several times on the leaves because you can't see where you're going. It kind of meanders its way around. And as you can see, I don't know if the GoPro will show it, it's pretty steep going down. Very steep right now. But we're going to cross that ravine and get with you when we head up the other side. Here's an old foundation and another trail that comes into this from down towards Rouserville. See, we've had storms, some trees overturned, and we're down on the side of the ravine after coming downhill. I'm going to head up over this little hill and looking at the climb I have ahead of me. Here's the bridge. It takes you across the stream, and then it's uphill. Okay, from crossing the bridge, we just came almost straight up. Heart rate went from about 110 beats a minute to 160 beats a minute. Quite steep. Now it's still going up, but it levels off some. Again, there's a view of the bridge we just crossed. And it came up rather sharply. Onward and upward. Still climbing upward. There's even good maintenance. There's been quite a few places where trees are down. The volunteers come through and cut them away. Very rocky, very precarious with these leaves. Slipped numerous times. So far, I've stayed on my feet. Really rocky section right now. All right, time to concentrate again. Crossed a road down there, Buena Vista Road it's called. There's some old houses for the rich and famous way back when. And now once again, as you see, I've been going up the whole time since the last time I stopped to film. And it is very rocky. One of the tougher sections. Once you get to 16 up until Chimney Rocks, it's pretty flat. This is one of the tougher sections. far as rocks and climbing. And it's a little flatter, still gradually going up. You can see up there, we have to get over that ridge. And now, finally, a little flat section for maybe 100 yards. Before we go back up. Now, after more climbing, still goes up a little, but it looks like we're at the top of a ridge and still really rocky. Like the ridge ends up here, and hopefully we'll have a little downhill. And there is the top of the ridge. Looks like we're gonna head down. But again, going down might be as bad as going up with all the rocks and leaves. But after about an hour or more of steady climbing, I finally get to get downhill. And we have a straight shot down to the bottom of this ridge. I think one more small one, and that should be about it. I've hiked this both directions, and I think this direction is definitely harder than the other direction. You have a climb at the beginning, then everything that I came up, you go down. And here's a old logging road. I remember crossing this before. You cross over and continue on our way. Okay, we're coming to the bottom of the ridge. Don't trip over any more rocks. And we're coming out on old Route 16 that goes from Rouserville, Pennsylvania, up the Blue Ridge Summit. Used to be a toll road back in the 20s and 30s. And it used to be the, well, not used to be, it was the retreat of the Confederates when they left Gettysburg. It's called the Monterey Pass, where it's where they retreated the whole way back down to Maryland and Virginia. And this brings you out, like I said, on Old 16, both directions, and you cross over a little bit further, brings you out to the current Route 16. A little uphill, then down. Again, lots of rocks. last section, probably only about 100 yards from Route 16. But as you can see, it is all rocks. That's all you're doing is walking on rocks. Up and down, rocks, rocks. Now you can hear the traffic. This brings us to the end of this hike. Hope you enjoyed seeing this section of the Appalachian Trail. It's more rugged than I remember it, and a tougher hike than I remember. Just nothing but rocks, roots, uphill and downhill. You can see once again, you're just basically walking through rocks. The GoPro battery went dead, so I finished this with my phone. Just give you an idea of just how rocky this section is. And there we go. We're out. As you can see, there is the highway. So I hope this gave you a short overview of the Appalachian Trail from the Mason-Dixon line to Penn Mar Park to Route 16 between Waynesboro, Pennsylvania and Blue Ridge Summit. Thank you for watching.